afternoon, Port Jervis, and welcome to the Port Center Spotlight Podcast. My name is Andrew Marotta. Today, it's going to be Andres Marotta. I am here with Senora Medina, Port Jervis Middle School Spanish teacher, and kicking off our Teacher Appreciation Week kind of celebration of all of our Port Jervis teachers. Muchas gracias, Senora.
De nada, señor.
Thank you. Carmen Medina here. We were chatting off air. It's a little out of her comfort zone. Every day she's in front of hundreds of kids. And now here we are on the podcast, and I appreciate it, Carmen, very much.
Thank you.
I think it's great for our community and our families to kind of help see our teachers shine and see them maybe away from the classroom a little bit. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Carmen, you've been in Port Jervis 12 years.
Yes.
But you were born in Spain, and what better to have a Spanish teacher from Spain? We're so blessed. Let's start there before we get into your teaching. Let's start, growing up in Spain, and then how old were you when your family came? Those kinds of things.
So my family is still in Spain. I'm the only one here. So the reason why I came here is because I met my husband in France. We were both studying abroad in France. We met there, and eventually we dated for a few years, and eventually we got married, and I moved here because he already had a job and I didn't. And I wanted to learn English because at that point I only knew French and Spanish. And then I decided to come here and move when I was in my late 20s.
So you went all high school, elementary?
Yes, in Spain. I grew up in Spain, born and raised there. I studied in France for a year in my junior year. And then after I graduated, then that's when I got married and I moved here.
Okay. And why French? Why did you choose French? Do most Spaniards learn French because it is the international language?
It's like here, the second language choices were French or English. I didn't want to learn English. I hated the language. And my passion was French. I loved everything that had to do with French and the French culture. And when I worked as an au pair a couple of summers, in France.
Oh,
and then I was in college. I studied French language and literature, so that's why I went to study abroad to France.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what was your family's reaction? How was that received when you said, "I'm getting married and I'm going to the U.S.?"
My mom asked me, "Are you sure? Because you are going very far away." And they loved my husband, and they knew I was happy, so they really supported me.
Yeah. So. Did you speak English when you arrived to the U.S.?
No. So my husband and our common language was French at first. He didn't speak Spanish, I didn't speak English. Then eventually he went to Spain for a few months to learn Spanish. Okay. He learned very quickly. Yeah. And then when I came here, that's when I learned, when I came. Yeah, by talking.
Just by talking, yeah.
I only took one class, I think, like a 2-month class or something. I was self-taught. I looked at a lot of books. I read a lot of grammar books, and then just by talking.
Wow.
Yes.
And then went on your way to get a teaching degree here in the U.S.?
Yes. So I had a teaching degree in Spain already.
Okay.
I could teach in France or Spain. So when I came here, I'm like, okay, teaching is my career.
Yeah. When did you know you wanted to teach? I mean, obviously you love the language. And friends, if you're watching live, jump in and say hello. If you had Senora Medina, jump in and say hi today. When did you realize you wanted to teach?
Since I was little, I knew I wanted to teach. Mm-hmm. I would go to my backyard and then play teacher with my brother or by myself. I always liked teaching. It's my passion.
Yeah. Did you have a good experience in school? Like, did you love your teachers?
I love my teachers. Yeah, I would say all of my teachers. Yeah, I loved it. I loved my friends there. I loved going to school. Yes, I was a very applied student.
Yeah. So now, do you still have the French now? Do you still?
My friends in school?
No, French.
French. Oh, French. It's a little bit rusty. So when I go back to France, it takes me like a few hours or a day, and then after that, I go back to normal. But it's rusty because I don't practice it anymore. Mm-hmm. But I can, if I'm watching a show or a movie in French, I understand pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you still speak French with your husband?
When we don't want the kids to learn, but not and to know what we are saying. But now my daughter speaks French as well, and my son is learning. So now we have to find another language.
Okay. Your son is taking French now in school?
Yeah, he's an 8th grader.
Wow.
And he's taking French, and he loves it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be interesting for you to have your son going through middle school language right now, and you've been a middle school teacher here. What's your son's name?
Carlo.
Carlo. And your daughter?
Daphne.
Daphne. Beautiful. What's that like for you to have Carlo going through a language course?
I was asking, what did you learn today? And then I always look at what he's doing in class, and I help him if he needs my help. But he's very good at it too, because he speaks Spanish. So French and Spanish are very similar. The grammar is very similar. So when you speak a second language, learning a third language comes easier. So sometimes he mixes Spanish and French, but he's doing very well, and I love helping him.
Yeah. Do you take off your teacher hat, and are you helping him as mom, or are you helping him as Senora Medina?
As mom. Less patient than when I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
When I'm home, I'm mom.
Awesome. So how did you settle in this area in the Hudson Valley? Were you in New York City first? Like, where did you live when you first moved here?
We were living in New York City, and I was teaching in the Bronx at the time. We decided to move to actually live in Monroe. So we decided to move to Monroe. We bought a house there, and then I didn't want to commute every day because the commute to the city is crazy every day.
Yeah.
So I started looking for a job. The first job posting I saw was Port Jervis. I said, Port Jervis, where is Port Jervis? I had no idea. So I came for the interview and got the job, and the rest is history. I've been here for like 12 years now.
Mr. Bon Jovi, Gene Lane?
Yes,
Who
he was Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Okay. And you've been here 12 years?
Yes.
All Port Jervis Middle School?
Now I'm teaching high school, college Spanish as well. But yeah, middle school the entire time.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah. And I mean, she's a fantastic teacher. I've been blessed to watch you teach, Carmen, and so engaging, so passionate. And really, right, she's from Spain. The culture that you bring into the classroom, the pictures talking about your family and the celebrations and holidays, it's immersive, really, to think about it. Did you ever want to go to I mean, you're doing college now, so that's definitely at a higher level, but did you ever, over a couple of years, say, like, I want to be at the high school? What made you stay at the middle school?
So I taught at the high school level before I came here. It was the first time I taught middle school when I came to Port. But somehow you've been in the middle school. It's very close-knit teaching staff. I just love being there, and I never wanted to teach in the high school. I wanted to stay there. What I have now is ideal because I'm teaching one class in the high school, and then the rest of the day I'm there. So, yeah.
And
I love being in the middle school.
As a native Spanish speaker, is it gratifying for you to teach Spanish at that high level? Kids that are going to use it in their future?
At the high school level, you mean? At the college level? Definitely I can do more activities with them. We can speak more, although I have to stick to the syllabus, which is, but I try to sometimes be more flexible and do other activities that are more engaging and more fun than just following the syllabus.
Yeah. Hey, Carmen, what's that like? Again, I've seen you, but what's it like for you, a native speaker, and here you're teaching middle school kids that have never heard a word in Spanish? Some of them have no idea what you're saying. They don't have a desire to learn Spanish, but they have to pick one in the middle school. How challenging is that for you when a kid doesn't want to learn it? Or is not interested in learning it?
Very rare. I mean, of course, we have kids that don't want to learn the language. Why do I need to learn Spanish or French? Why? I barely speak English. They always give me the same argument. Somehow they know they have to take the class in order to graduate from high school. And I try to make it as engaging as fun as possible. And in the end, like the other day, we were watching something that was a documentary or a video that I showed them, and they were like, "Oh, I understand that word, and I understand that other word." You see, you're learning. You don't realize it, but you're learning Spanish. And sometimes they tell me, "Oh, I went to this store, and the employee there was Spanish speaker, and I tried my Spanish, and I was able to buy whatever. I don't know." So it's very rewarding to to see that. I know they're not interested in many things at that age, but they try and they learn. In the end, they learn.
Yeah, they learn for sure. You make them speak. You're calling on them, and really you model it too, so beautifully, so well in class. Moving from the Bronx, where there's a lot of Spanish, I mean, you walk in restaurants
Mm-hmm.
and even in the schools, probably 50% of the population spoke. That's not the case here. Was that a shock for you when you came?
A little bit, but when I first came 12 years ago, there were no Spanish speaker students here. I think there was one or two.
Wow.
I was like very surprised.
Yeah.
Because yes, coming from where I work in the Bronx, it was Dominican area, a lot of Dominican students. So it was a little bit of a shock. Now we have more Spanish speakers, so I like to see that diversity. So yeah, it was a little bit of a shock to not see anybody who spoke Spanish around.
Yeah. Very strong middle school and high school program, world language, not foreign language anymore, world language. Very strong veterans, people who have lived in the countries, Mr. Fedork, Mr. Wilson, all people they've lived there and immersed themselves. You mentioned Mr. Wilson in the questionnaire here, to have such a partner that loves French as you love the languages. Tell me what it's like working alongside your French counterpart there in the middle school.
Mr. Wilson is inspiring. He inspired me to be a better teacher every day. He's so passionate and dedicated to everything he does. And it's so easy to work with him. So I just love him. I love working with him. And he, like I said, he's inspiring. He inspires me every day.
Yeah, many of us here, including coming this week here. It's a big week for Port Jervis, for Mr. Wilson, but also the World Language Department. This has really become an incredible event, this multicultural night. It's this Thursday here at the high school. I think we started in the classroom, then it went to the cafeteria, and now it's a full-fledged thing in our gym. Again, all of our language teachers involved here. Tell me about this upcoming event here.
So yes, please come. Yeah. This is a wonderful event that Mr. Wilson puts together every year, and where there is food from many countries. If you are hungry, come to the event. There's also many of our students work on posters from their own countries, and you will see a lot of cultural tables, different activities, and a lot of food again. Yeah, it's really it's a lot of fun. Yes,
a great spirit in that event here. That's this Thursday with Miss Medina's colleague here, Mr. Wilson. Maybe you get him to come on the podcast. He, like some other people, been dodging me for a couple of years, so I'm grateful to you for accepting this. We're going to interview 4 teachers this week, all for Teacher Appreciation Week. Carmen is our representative from the middle school. She described a little bit of the culture of the middle school, the staff, and again, that building that you used to be in. There is just a magnetism there that people want to stay. Tell me what it was like for you to move with your family, your Port Jervis Middle School family. We moved over here. Now you're at the 209. What's been different for you now that you had to move away from that building?
The middle school just adapt to anything really, and it was a hard transition at first because we didn't have a lot of space. We had to share with the high school. I was hard on everybody, but we adapted. We were very flexible, and we continue we transitioned very easily. It was hard the first few days until we just and then we moved again. So It was 1 year, I think, or 2 at the high school, and then we moved to where ASK used to be. So. Like I said, we are used to adapting, and I think we transition very well.
Air conditioning coming soon.
Hopefully, yes, soon. We're looking forward to that.
Your classroom in the middle school used to be
very hot. And this one here too. Everywhere I go. But it's okay.
But you like the heat.
Yes. I'd rather have, I don't like the cold, so it's okay.
Well, you recently visited some cold. You like to travel. You shared some beautiful pictures. You were in Scotland with your family. There's your daughter, 21. She was studying in Scotland. Is that right?
Yeah, she's doing math at in Pittsburgh in Carnegie Mellon.
Oh,
and she went to study abroad there for 1 semester, the fall semester, and she loved it. She traveled all over Europe. She made a lot of friends there, and she loved the experience. Yeah, she really liked it. So we wanted to go see her, but it was hard for us to have like a week off during the school, during the fall semester. So we decided to go for Christmas. So that's why you have the lights there. It was beautiful there. Edinburgh, the capital, was beautiful.
Very cold.
We took some tours also to the highlands. It was not that cold. It was just very humid. It was very humid.
Okay.
But it wasn't very cold. Probably in the high 30s, I would say. We spent the whole day out, so we had to dress warm.
What I'm a foodie. Different. Scotland's not known for their food. What was the food that stood out to you? What was something?
The breakfast. Breakfast was the best.
Really?
We had very nice breakfast every day. We would try different things. The rest of the food, they have a lot of different type of restaurants there, like a lot of Indian restaurants, Mexican restaurants, Scottish food. I couldn't tell you what something typical there except for the breakfast they have like the beans, and they have all these I forget what the other dish was called. They have a lot of different types of bread, of different teas, of course. They have tea time, so they have the pastries that go with the tea. So we loved and a lot of whiskey distilleries also there, because whiskey and Scotch.
Wow.
They're famous for their Scotch. Yes.
Did you like the accent, the Scottish accent? Very heavy,
very
right?
different. Yes. At first, I was afraid I was not going to understand anything, but unless they were from the south of Scotland, it was not that hard for me to understand them. If they were from the south, then I didn't understand anything they were saying. Yeah. But it wasn't just me. My family were like, "What are they saying?"
And you love to travel international. It's a big part of your life. You return home most summers.
Yes.
Spend the summer in Spain, but you love to travel internationally.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about.
I wish I could travel more.
Yeah.
I loved getting to know other cultures, people from other countries. Learning, maybe if I go to a country where I don't speak the language, I always try my best to learn a little bit of it. Like I went to China many years ago, and my husband and I took some classes to learn numbers, how to say hello, thank you, just the basics.
Yeah.
Because I know everybody, English is the universal language, but it's always good to speak the language of the the place you're visiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they appreciate that.
We appreciate you here, Carmen. Again, teaching more than just language. You're teaching about your country, about the culture, and it's just an incredible opportunity. You're not a student who learned Spanish in school and now teaching it. You're someone who lived the culture. Yeah, yeah, awesome. Do you see Carlo going into education? Do you see that possibly?
No. He's more into, he wants to do something with sports. He loves sports. So he doesn't know what he wants to do yet, but I don't think teaching is one of it's not his passion. And not now, maybe in the future.
Daphne's doing math, but is that going into school?
No, not teaching either. No, she's doing math and AI, so probably working in, could be a bank or could be a company where they use AI and math. Okay. Could be analyzing data analysis, things like that, but not teaching either.
And do you see either one of them returning to Spain to live or immerse themselves in that culture?
Possibly. More my son than my daughter. I think my son always saying that he wants to live in Spain at some point. So maybe when he finishes college, or maybe going to college there. He's also talking about that. So yes, it's possible. And my daughter, who knows, maybe a job will take her back there.
Carmen, I remember memorizing with index cards and reading in the dictionary. What has this device done in terms of assisting you or helping even ENL students, right? The translation factors, Google, even our calls home can be translated. Our images that go home can be translated. What has this technology meant for you as a language teacher?
So not just the phone, but online apps that the students can use to learn more vocabulary, because vocabulary is repetition. So you need to study it. And our students these days, they don't use index cards. They go and do maybe Quizlet or quizzes or one of these apps, or Duolingo. A lot of the students do Duolingo as well. So I always say, please do not use Google Translate, because Google Translate is not accurate, but it's getting better. And we have to embrace technology. But it's helpful. I like technology. You just have to make sure that there is a medium. Don't use technology for everything. Don't use Google Translate for everything. Try to do it on your own.
Yeah.
as well.
And coming up here, Carmen, our kids that have mastered 2 languages are going to go for their kind of certification here going into graduation. As a language teacher, what's it like for you to see these kids that are going to get, what's the name? I'm
The
missing
biliteracy.
seal of biliteracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean for you when you're going to see these seniors that were your students 4 years ago, now going to have the cord and be certified in 2 languages? What does that mean for you?
It makes me very proud because when I see them that they're going to do it for Spanish, then I'm like, okay, maybe I help in some way to get them where they are right now.
Yeah.
So yes, it makes me very proud, and I see them so grown up and so smart, and like this year is the first time I see them. I'm teaching them as well.
Yeah.
Normally I see them in the hallways, or I see them on the website, but now this year I actually get to see them and talk to them. So I'm loving teaching my college Spanish class.
And what's it like for you that you had those kids 4 years ago to see which ones stayed with it?
Yeah, I'm surprised that a lot of them continue with Spanish. I have a large class in my college. I have 26 students in my class. And they continue. And I see the ones that are juniors now or sophomores like, oh, no, yeah, we're going to take college Spanish when we get to 12th grade. I'm like, oh, great. So I'm glad to see they're still motivated.
That is a tribute to you and your colleague, and then the high school department. I mean, Mrs. Hyziak and Mrs. Bransfield, kind of the kids enjoying it as sophomores and juniors, because then they don't have to take it.
Exactly.
But our class is different than some other schools, lighter at the older years. Our classes are full because the kids have stayed with it, because our teachers do such a good job of not only teaching the language, but making it fun.
Yeah.
Right? It's enjoyable. There's a positive energy there. Carmen, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and we should be appreciating our teachers all the time. But this week in particular, what does it mean for you to this week and Teacher Appreciation Week and the attention being put on our teachers?
We appreciate it. I mean, but most of us, I would say, like, if 100% of the teachers, 99% of the teachers do it because we love it and it's our vocation. So we don't really need to be, it's going to sound appreciated. What I'm saying is that we do it not for to get credit or to be appreciated, because we do it because it's our passion. Yeah. So, but yeah, we like being appreciated and getting little things. And when the kids did, yesterday they did an activity, and it was, they will give you like a little, they put it together, PTA put it together. So it was a sentence, who is the most, they will have to give it to a teacher. Who is the most likely to be dancing in the hallway, for instance? And then we'll have to give it to a teacher. So you appreciate getting one of those little notes. It's like, oh, good, they thought about me. So
did you get one?
Yes, I got one.
Dancing in the hall?
Yes. That's in the hall or whatever. Maybe in the classroom sometimes.
Yeah. Carmen, we're blessed to have one of our students back teaching with us.
Oh, yes.
Sara Morahan, teaching Spanish. She was a student here. Her family's here. Her dad, was teaching. What would you say as a veteran teacher, to our younger teachers here? They got 30 years in front of them teaching. What are some tricks of the trade, things that have made you be a great teacher that you are? What would you say to those younger teachers?
Ooh, let's see. I would say I'm a planner, so everything for me has to be planned, but you have to learn when you're teaching, especially in middle school, you need to learn how to be flexible and adapt, because sometimes the lesson is not going to go well. You have to change it. You have to adapt. You can't go with everything you have in your syllabus. Sometimes you have to adapt and be more flexible with the students and go with the flow.
I remember being in your room and you tried some different things. You were like, Mr. Moran, I don't know if it's going to work, but you tried it and it was great. You weren't afraid to try it.
Yeah, I like trying new things, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Carmen, you bring a lot of pride to the position. You bring a lot of respect. You're terrific at the job. Education out there in the public, respect level, some say, has dropped. What would you say to people, that maybe don't respect the education profession as much with the work that you're doing every day, but then the public perception out there saying, it's not, what would you say to them?
I would say to them that teachers care for their students. We are here because we care, because we like teaching, and we always do our best. We are on their side.
Yeah.
So we are not the enemies. We need their support. As we need the support at home in order to us be successful here in the school. So we are here because we care about the students we have.
Yeah.
Really.
And we saw that, after COVID, what happened to people, right? The socialization, the being loved in school, and the connections, and kids were happy for maybe 2 weeks.
Yes.
Then,
Yeah.
We
That
saw
was not
that.
those not
Yeah.
good times.
Yeah. Okay. Carmen, it's May, 2 months before the end of the year here. What are some things that you do to kind of wind up the year, wrap up the year? Obviously, there's finals, there's those kinds of things. But for you, mentally and physically, it's been a long year. How do you kind of wrap up the year, not only school-wise, but also, personally? How do you kind of close the door on another school year?
Personally, I like reading a lot. That takes me to another world. I like reading at night before I go to bed, and just be in a quiet room and reading. And I love getting into new worlds and getting lost in my books.
Fiction books.
I know it sounds like a little bit, but yeah,
Yeah.
I love fiction books.
Yeah.
I also like exercising. It helps me a lot, even though sometimes you're tired, but exercising gives you energy.
Mm.
And spending time with my family, really. Mm-hmm.
You wrote that a lot in here, spending time with your family. Yeah. Your daughter's, how many more years at school?
She will be a senior next year.
Okay.
She's back home now.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. We're very
Yeah.
happy to have her back.
Nice.
And then next year is her last year.
And your son will be a freshman then at Monroe Woodbury.
Yes.
And does he play soccer? Is he into soccer?
Oh, no.
No?
We tried.
I mean,
No, he tried for a couple of years. He doesn't like soccer. Football. He loves football.
okay. And
Now he's
Monroe,
doing baseball too.
Monroe has a big program.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, they
Okay.
do. Yeah. So he plays football and swimming. He's in the swimming
Okay.
program as well in the winter.
Have you grown to understand and like American football, or no? You still
Oh
soccer?
yeah, I had to, because I went to all my son's games, and I had to. Otherwise, I would be like,
Yeah.
Now I know the rules. Now baseball is my next task. I have to learn the rules. But now I know football. Sometimes I'm like a little bit lost. What's happening? But now, for the most part, I know the rules now for football. And baseball, I'm getting there.
Very good. Carmen, you'll go back to Spain this summer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every summer, my entire family is
Yeah.
there. So
Where do
I
you
go every
stay?
summer.
Like when you go, do you stay with family? Do you stop?
No,
at
I
the
stay
house
with
there?
my parents have a big house, and they have 2 floors, so we stay downstairs. We stay upstairs. My
Yeah.
mother, they wouldn't let me go somewhere else. So we stay with them, and then we travel. Sometimes we do little trips, and then we stay in a hotel. Obviously, if we go away somewhere, but normally I stay with my parents. Yeah, I'm only there for a month and a half,
Yeah.
so they want me there 24/7.
And your children come? Do they spend the summer too?
Yes. So my son comes with me, my husband and my daughter, depending. My husband goes for normally 2 weeks because of work. And my daughter, depending on, she's doing an internship, so she'll go probably for a week or 2 also.
Okay. Your son speaks Spanish when he's over there?
Yes.
Yeah. Todo en la casa?
My parents don't speak English, so yes, he has to speak Spanish.
Does he love that immersion?
Yes, he
Yeah.
loves spending
Yeah.
time with his grandparents.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to some serious questions now. I've asked you some light ones. These are serious ones now. When you go home, what's your favorite dish that your mom makes?
Oh.
She's gonna make that. What's the favorite dish there?
She always asks, "What do you want me to make?" We love something called pisto. So pisto is a dish with tomato sauce and peppers and meat. So you have to cook it the sauce has to be cooked for hours and hours. It's hard to make, but she always does that for us. And croquetas, you know what croquetas are?
The potatoes? Yeah.
It's like a croquette in English. I don't know how to explain a croqueta.
It's like a fried potato, right?
They don't have potatoes inside. They could have chicken, or they could have meat also. I don't
She
know.
makes them, your mom?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
makes them homemade too, so they are very good.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
She's a very good cook.
And what is your dish when your kids come home and I want mom to make, What is it? A Spanish dish? What's your creation of the
Yes,
house?
that's Spanish dishes. So one of them is a Spanish omelet. It's made with potatoes and eggs. It looks like a pie.
Breakfast food? Is that breakfast?
No, it's not breakfast. It could be lunch and dinner.
Okay.
And then the other one I make a good, according to them, beef stew. Yeah, Spanish, my mom's recipe.
Okay.
Fantastic. That's what I made for my daughter when she came on Sunday.
Fantastic. School ends June 28th. Are you on a plane June 29th? Like when?
No,
No.
July 4th.
July 4th. You take a week.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I go and come back mid-August.
Fantastic.
Looking forward to that too.
Well, thank you for doing this. Again, I know it was a little out of a regular class for you. Thank you. You did fantastic. Is there anything else you wanted to share? Is there anything else you wanted to say about teaching here in Port Jervis, something like that?
No, that I'm very proud of teaching here in Port Pride, and just so anybody who's listening, just follow your passion. Try to work in a field that you like, you enjoy. And thank you for having me.
Yeah. Muchas gracias. I've been knocking on her door a couple of years. You know, it's okay. Everyone opens.
I gave in.
Carmen, you and I both were not from this community, but have spent a lot of our lives here. What does it mean for you to see all this growth, the construction projects, the fields, the advancements with technology? What does it mean for you to see all these things happen?
I think again it comes down to Port Pride. Like I'm very proud of see how all the fields look amazing. Coming with my son, I think in 2 weeks we have a game, and I'm so proud to show them this is where I work. And
he's playing here.
Yes, he's playing baseball. So the last game was canceled because of the rain.
Okay.
I don't remember now when we're coming back. And so yeah, it comes down to Port Pride. I'm very proud to live to work in a place where all the facilities look amazing.
Yeah.
You know, all these renovations look great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Friends, this is Carmen Medina, a Spanish teacher here, high school and middle school. Here's a little Port swag for you. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Carmen.
Gracias.
I appreciate it. You've kind of said it, Carmen, Port Pride. You've kind of said it, but to end our show, what does Port Pride mean to you?
To be part of a community where it seems like everybody knows each other. And at first I was like, oh, I'm the outsider, right? But I feel like the only thing that I'm missing is living in Port. I'm very proud of working here and being part of this community.
Fantastic. How would you say go Port in Spanish?
Bed Port.
Bed Port. Beautiful. Carmen, thank you. I really appreciate it. Carmen is a fantastic teacher, a wonderful person, mom and family. And we are blessed, again, not just to have a Spanish teacher here, and again, immersion into the Spanish culture. And if your child has gone through Spanish in the middle school, ask about, their experience and what it's been like for them, because she's an amazing teacher. So muchas gracias.
De nada. Gracias a ti.
All right. Adios, everyone. Tomorrow is Maura Brady Wilson from East Main Elementary. We're going to meet somebody from each building. So we're going to say goodbye to Carmen ahora. Muchas gracias and adios.
Adios.
Ciao, everybody.